Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a tutorial of how it is that I bleach my lace. These are what I'm going to be using for today. I've got my 9% I'm going to go in with and my bleaching powder. You can use literally anything, so you don't have to use specific products that I'm using. That's fine. So this is my frontal. I literally just grabbed this frontal just from AliExpress. I'm going to go in with my Got To Be Glued and I'm just going to spray down my flyaways. Normally when you buy these closures, normally they just have so many little flyaways and stuff, and it can just be really messy. So I just want to make sure I go over that with my Got To Be Glued spray. Get that spray down. You can use any hairspray for this. So I'm just going to brush those flyaways down and just flatten it all down. I'm quite heavy-handed with products, so you can just use as much as you want. It's fine because it's all going to get washed away anyway. It's fine. So I'm just going to finish brushing this down. And then I'm just going to go in and just pour. I normally use 1.5 scoops for this part. This is the bleaching powder. You can use blue powder or white powder. It doesn't matter. It literally gives you the same result. So, and then I'm going to go in with 1 cap for the moment. And give it a mix. It's so important for the consistency to be quite creamy and not too runny. If you find it's kind of thick like that, you can always add more. So I've just added another capful into this one, and then I'm going to give that one a mix. Let's just see if it's a nice creamy consistency. That's what you kind of want, and you can always test it. I would like scoop it, lift it, and then check, and if it's like pouring off, then no. If it kind of stays on, then it's perfect. So that's a tip for you. Now I'm just going to flip my lace over, and I'm just going to apply it and making sure that is the correct consistency. Again, I'll probably just start from the back just to make sure that I'm 100% happy, because if I do a mistake in the back of the closure, it doesn't really matter, it's not too bad, rather than the front. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So what you want to do is you can just get a knife or a spatula or anything that you're not going to use for household stuff. I'm going to go in with that, and I'm just going to smooth this all over my frontal, just making sure that I'm kind of pressing the knife into the frontal, because what I want to do is I kind of want to pack it on. Like I want the bleach to actually seep through slightly onto the main part of the hair, because I want that full coverage. I want it to actually be on the knots and on top of the knots, if that makes sense. So I kind of really want to make sure that that is fully covered, because you only want to do this process once. If you over process the hair, then it can give you balding, which is, nobody wants a bald frontal, that's just long. So make sure that you be really careful with this process. Also, I want to add, please make sure you wear gloves. I'm not wearing gloves at this point. I literally do highlights all the time. It's not a good idea to work without gloves. You just need to protect your skin, because if the bleach does go into your skin, it can burn and it can feel sore later. So just be careful. Make sure you're wearing the appropriate things, and obviously don't do this when you're not wearing old clothes or anything like that, because if you do make a mess on yourself or you do get it on your clothes, bleach is just a nightmare. It really does destroy, especially black clothes, it just destroys. Okay, so once that's completed, which I think I'm just doing the last bit now. So yeah, once that's completed, you want to just kind of sit and watch that. Just watch it. I normally go over with clean film. I like to protect my frontal with the clean film, so I'm just going to use a little bit of clean film. I'm just going to wrap that over, and that's just going to help me flip the hair over. It just makes working with this a little bit more easier. So I'll just flip it over, and then I like to check on top and make sure that that bleach has actually gone through the lace and it's touching just the root. So I'm happy with that. That's fully covered. But you have to be really careful again with this at this stage. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that, happy with that. I'm gonna leave that to rest for, I'm probably gonna leave that on for about 10 to 20 minutes. I'm just gonna watch it though, because what you don't want is to over process it, because that's when you get bald spots, and nobody wants a bald spot on their lace frontal. That's just long. Okay, so this is it with the clean film on. I'm gonna just show you quickly what it looks like underneath when you leave it to process. So it does bubble up a little bit, which means you know it's active and it's worked and it's doing its thing. So now I'm just going to remove the clean film, and I'm just going to be really careful at this stage, because also this can be quite messy. You don't want it to touch anything or touch the hair as well. So just be really careful. Just get the back of your knife and scrape. I tend to just scrape as I go. So I like to just scrape and check. So I'll scrape that area. If I'm happy with that, then I would wipe the residue back onto a section that I haven't checked yet. Just making sure I have evenly distributed this bleaching cream everywhere. So just going to make sure, and then I'm just going to wipe the residue off onto the clean film. Just use that as my bin, and I'm just going to scrape it on. Just scrape it off, and then I'm just going to wipe it onto the clean film and use that as my bin. And I'm just checking it. As I can see, once you remove it and you scrape it off, you can kind of gauge whether it has taken or not. So you can kind of see that those knots have been lightened. Okay, so now I'm just going to rinse it off. Start rinsing it off. Make sure you thoroughly rinse this area off. You want to make sure once you're rinsing it, it's not touching the hair. So you just want to be quick at this stage. You don't want to dawdle, take too long, because what you don't want is that bleach to then touch the hair and then start lightening the rest of the hair, if that makes sense. So you want to be quick in this. Get it all wet, get this thing off, and so it can stop working. So as you can see, like, and slightly, like, I've got bits of red, see, because when you start bleaching things and stripping things back, it will start throwing up colors. So it's like got bits of red and just, yeah. Anyway, so next I'm just going to throw on the shimmer. I use Shimmer Lights. It's just great. It's easy to use, and you literally just throw on the purple shampoo. I do love a purple shampoo. You can also use blue shampoo. So Silver's really good. I really do love So Silver. That just takes out any reds and yellows and oranges, any of those tinges that you kind of don't want. It will just take it out. It kind of neutralizes it. You would just leave this on. So this process I normally leave on for another 10-20 minutes, but because I was filming, I kind of forgot that I normally leave it on for longer than that. But this time I left it on for about, I think about 2 minutes, and then I just went straight in and rinsed it off. At this stage you can leave the shampoo on for longer. I would definitely recommend to leave it on for longer. You can leave it on for as long as you want, but don't obviously forget about it. I've done that plenty of times and forgotten about it. Okay, so then you would then go ahead and rinse this. Rinse it off completely. Make sure you're still checking it. And you can probably see by then it's going to change the tone slightly. So you're going to see it's not going to look as orangey, yellowy, reddy. It's not going to look as crazy as that with that. Then you want to go in with your conditioner. Pop your conditioner on, which is Shimmer Lights again. I used a conditioner as well for this one, but then again you can use any blue or purple conditioner as long as it's those tones, because you kind of want to cancel out the fire. Basically you want to cancel out that tone. Then you want to make sure that you comb the hair through at this stage, and then go ahead and rinse it. Again, you can leave the conditioner on for longer. You can leave the conditioner on for literally as long as you want. I tend to leave it on for another 10 minutes, but this process, again, I left it on for probably about 2 minutes and then rinsed it through. But I was happy overall with how it came out. As you can see it. So the tone is quite nice. So yeah, I was happy with that. So this is it wet. So the hair's still wet. And what I tend to do is once it's still wet, I throw on leave-in conditioner, or I'll go in with a serum, and just make sure that that hair has got something on it. So just put whatever your favorite serums are, just whack it on, and then you just want to make sure you comb the hair. You want to comb the hair obviously in the same direction, so you want to keep the hair flat, because it's almost like you're doing a flat set. So you would just comb it out flat and make sure that you get rid of any knots, any tangles, anything's happened. You can just correct that, but you can still check. That's it there, dry. And yeah, I'm happy with that. Overall, that looks really nice and lush. And then I go in again with more conditioner, as I've just left it to air dry. I literally leave this to air dry. I don't put heat on it at all. I just literally let it air dry. So I'll just leave it on the table and let it dry. And that is it. That is my frontal. So, and let me know if there's any other videos you'd like me to do. But overall, I am so happy to do these kind of videos for you guys. And I hope that has helped you in some way get your frontals looking fleeky. If you do want me to do any other videos of anything else, let me know. I'm so happy to do these videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you did like this video, or this video was helpful for you in any way, then I would super appreciate it.